Welcome to Novelish Universe, where pages come alive and story touch the soul. Step into a realm of sorrow and love and fate, where every word whispers emotion and every moment leaves a mark. Let your imagination soar. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for regular updates on new novels. Today, we begin a powerful journey with the novel Risking My Life, Proposing to Miss Hazel. The story begins now. Chapter 19. Clink. 3 silver coins fell into my hand. For only half a day of work, it was very generous pay. I returned 1 silver coin to Mr. Barron. It was my conscience fee for getting paid while barely working. In the city, people call easy work sweet work and envy it. But in the countryside, acting like that would cause trouble. Mr. Barron tilted his head as if displeased. Please take it. My parents always said a person should know their place. That was a lie. I don't even remember my parents' faces, so how could I remember their words? It was just something I said to stop this clueless city man from learning the real countryside wage rates. But the city man wasn't easy to deal with. He put the coin back into my hand and spoke smoothly. I'm not just giving it to you. Think of it as a bribe. A bribe? I was hoping Miss Hazel could help me prepare herbs again tomorrow, so I wanted to secure your time. Would I really be helpful? His red eyes turned as if measuring something. I'll make sure you are. Question mark? Let's meet here at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. Well, that's not a bad deal for me. I went down to the general store carrying the trimmed white claw grass stems and the silver coins I earned without much effort. It was 3 p.m. My brother told me to rest all day, but when the sun is still up, I don't know how to relax. It's better to go to the store and help out. Adults always say only people who know how to play can rest well. They're right. I quietly slipped past the entrance and walked toward the window. It wasn't because I was curious what the ever-diligent Mr. Felix might be doing without me. I just wanted to surprise him. Through the glass, I saw Mr. Felix reading the newspaper with full focus. The newspaper delivered to our village is published in Bennu, the city closest to Cromwell Castle. A horse courier brings it to us. It usually arrives a day late, but we're grateful even for that. Suddenly, Felix lowered his head and started shaking his shoulders. A strange sobbing sound came behind the newspaper. Coo-hoo-hoo. I perked up my ears. His voice didn't sound normal. Cook, cook. Question mark? Was he really crying? I was about to rush in, worried, when the strange sobbing suddenly stopped. What should I do? I must be a genius! Felix's nonsense hit my ears. Of course, I wasted my energy worrying. He was just being crazy as usual. I leaned against the wall and sighed quietly. Still, laughing is better than crying. Hey! Question mark. Though that kind of laugh is a bit scary. Felix giggled for a while and then suddenly shouted as if the roof would fly off the top. We're going to be rich now! Hazel, just wait a little. Big Brother will give you a luxurious life. Hearing my name made my back twitch. It didn't seem like he knew I was listening, probably just one of his usual monologues. But seriously, what makes him so sure we're going to be rich? My trust in my only brother is almost zero. The more excited he gets, the more anxious I feel, especially when there's no clear reason. Good, no problem at all. Once I sell all this holy water, Hazel will praise me. I don't think he'll sell them all. It's fine. If he can't sell them, I'll sell them. Someday, at least before I die. I sighed again and walked to the door. Watching Felix run wild with baseless confidence was exhausting. Opa, nothing happened, right? When I suddenly pushed the door open, he jumped and threw the newspaper in the air. When did you get here? He asked blankly. Just now. I told you to rest today. Why did you come? I was bored. I trimmed herbs and earned this. Isn't that white claw grass? You handled that? I was about to say yes, but changed my answer. As if I just stood nearby and got paid. If I told him I worked because we're short on money, he'd sulk and ask if I don't trust him. In times like this, a harmless white lie, like Mrs. Monica's pure white chicken, is best. Good job. Since you're here, can you watch the store? I need to step out. When will you be back? Let's eat dinner together at home. I marinated chicken in rosemary and butter. We should cook it today. It'll taste good with potatoes. My brother raised me since childhood, so his cooking skills are excellent. When I cook, the best I can do is preserve the natural flavor of ingredients, but he creates dishes worthy of the village housewives, using all kinds of spices and techniques. One especially satisfying thing since he quit drinking is that I get to eat his cooking every day. Of course, we might soon run out of money and go back to barley porridge and eggs, but honestly, even boiled eggs taste better when he makes them. Maybe instead of earning money outside, my brother would be better off as a house husband. I once heard that in the city, it's trendy to support a handsome but incompetent man. Seeing how some women in the village were willing to live just by admiring my brother's face, it's not impossible. Okay, have a safe trip. After seeing him off, I sat at the spotless counter. His cleaning skills are good too, just overshadowed by his cooking. He's really suited to being a house husband, much better than being a shop owner who only stocks items that won't sell. Looking at the holy water bottles covering an entire wall of the shop, I sighed. To calm myself, I picked up the newspaper. While reading casually, something interesting caught my eye. The latest trend, holy water cosmetics. Healthy drink recipes made with holy water. They're really using holy water for everything now. I'd heard that in the city, holy water isn't only used for healing or purification, but cosmetics and health drinks? Well, holy water isn't harmful to the body, so it's not a problem to use it daily. I just never expected articles like this in the newspaper. An idea flashed through my mind. I looked back and forth between the white claw grass in my hand and the pile of holy water bottles my brother had stocked. Wouldn't this work? The next day, I put the newspaper and some holy water in a basket and headed to the herbalist's cabin. It was 7:30 a.m. I thought I would arrive first, but Mr. Barron was already there waiting with a basket. Despite the early hour, he greeted me with a fresh smile, not a hint of puffiness on his face. Somehow, he really doesn't match the background of a rough cabin. Mr. Hazel, I'm glad you came. Thank you for inviting me. Maybe he realized long sleeves were inconvenient for herb work, so today he wore a sleeveless shirt, exposing his arms. He's not even a woodcutter. It felt slightly inappropriate, but I quickly dismissed the thought. You can't complain about your employer's clothes when he pays well. Mr. Barron glanced at my basket. What's that? I wanted to ask you something. I'll show you after we finish working. Out of courtesy, I asked about his basket too. What did you bring? He smiled as if he had been waiting for that question. Lunch. I made it myself. Chapter 20. It may sound obvious, but Mr. Barron really can do anything. Wow. I watched him trimming the lantern flowers with pure admiration. With his thick hands and veiny forearms, he held tweezers as thin as a dragonfly's legs. Yet his movements were unbelievably delicate, careful not to wrinkle even a single petal. So today there's no heavy lifting. The muscles are temporarily off duty. His strong arms were just as perfectly shaped as his face. Honestly, I prefer the kind of muscles that grow wild and uneven like a dirt potato rather than those perfectly carved ones. Wait, what am I even thinking? He's working hard. Why am I thinking about that? Anyway, about this flower, the lantern flower, it got its name because it lights up the mountains at night like a lantern. The mysterious petals can be used as a light source until they wilt, but the real value of this flower lies in its sharp, thorn-like calyx. If you stick that calyx into the skin, even someone suffering from severe insomnia will immediately fall into a deep, sweet sleep, and there are no side effects. The problem is that it's extremely difficult to prepare. The calyx is so thin that it breaks easily, and many people accidentally prick themselves while separating it and fall asleep on the spot. I had heard that carefully removing each calyx with tweezers takes a very long time. But Mr. Barron was different. His eyes stayed fixed on the flower without even a trimmer, and his hands moved so quickly they left after images. It almost looked like he had 10 hands. He's amazing. Maybe this job actually requires a lot of muscle strength after all. It's a shame someone so necessary for a rural village like ours had been wasting away in the city. If we had 3 people like Mr. Barron, our village would be rich. While staring at him, I absent-mindedly picked up petals that had fallen on the ground. For the record, I have nothing to do again today. Mr. Barron asked me to gather the remaining flowers and make lantern flower bouquets, but honestly, I don't see the point. Bouquets made of lantern flowers glow softly and look pretty until the petals wilt, but by the time they reach Cromwell Castle, they'll probably have already lost their light. In short, they have no real market value. Still, I'm getting paid. I can't just do it carelessly, so I worked diligently. It looks a bit empty where the calyx used to be. Maybe I should add some clover there. I picked some clover around the cabin and tucked it neatly into the center of each flower. Pretty things sell better. I may run a small general store, but I do have a good eye for attractive items. As I turned the finished bouquet around in my hands, I felt a steady gaze from across the table. What? Why is he staring? Did he not like the clover? Should I take it out? 1,000 thoughts flashed through my mind. Thankfully, a moment later, Mr. Barron spoke. It's pretty. I smiled in relief. Really? It was a good idea to add the clover, right? Ah, the clover. What? Wasn't he calling the bouquet pretty? Everything about him is fine, but sometimes the way he speaks is so suspiciously vague. Soon after finishing one basket of lantern flowers, instead of bringing another basket, Mr. Barron opened the one he had brought. Shall we have lunch first? Sure, thank you. I usually eat hearty breakfasts and dinners, but for lunch, I just have fruit and biscuits. Most villagers are the same. Some people even skip lunch when they're busy. So even when he said he brought lunch, I didn't expect much. I assumed it would be a simple sandwich with brown bread, ham, and cheese. But oh my. Of course, Mr. Barron was different. From his basket came dishes worthy of a full-course meal. A salad topped with cheese and strawberry sauce, cream soup full of mushrooms, whole baked potatoes with bacon, and a sandwich stuffed with an entire beefsteak. I wouldn't even eat like this at a birthday party. And that wasn't all. Mr. Barron was the kind of man who prepared dessert, too. When a pound cake topped with honey-glazed dried figs appeared, my mouth fell open. His sly eyes curved gently. I prepared something simple. I hope it suits your taste. Simple? You call this simple? I know he's earning well these days, but at this rate, he'll spend all his money on food. It's our first meal together, Miss Hazel. I couldn't prepare something too plain. Ah! The words first meal together made the back of my neck tingle. I know he didn't mean anything by it, but country women can easily misunderstand words like that. City men, honestly. I was about to warn him that talking so lightly could get him dragged off by some woman one day, but I stuffed my mouth with a sandwich. The moment I bit into the steak sandwich, a soft groan escaped me. The thick meat was unbelievably tender. It slid between my teeth like pudding and melted down my throat. Even though it was cold, the rich juices filled my mouth. It was the kind of taste that could make a blind person see. And it wasn't just the sandwich. The salad, soup, potatoes, and dessert were all top tier. If Mr. Felix is the king of home cooking, then Mr. Barron could easily get hired as a chef at Cromwell Castle. It's so delicious. It's so soft and rich, I don't even know how to describe it. People would believe you if you said you used to work as a cook. I've handled knives before. Did you study cooking? I learned quickly. Wait, do you realize our conversation is going in a strange direction? I find it interesting. I gave an awkward smile and decided to end the conversation there. Mr. Barron is such a strange person. It's rare to feel more distant the closer you get to someone. If that's a talent, then certainly he has it. After lunch, we finished preparing one more basket of lantern flowers and the day's work ended. We gathered 300 calyx pieces and made about 20 bouquets of various sizes. As payment, I received 3 silver coins again, just like yesterday. Feeling a bit embarrassed, I blurted out something unnecessary. "Thank you, Mr. Barron. I wasn't going to say this, but you really saved me. You know it's almost tax day." "I asked for your help because I needed you as well, Miss Hazel." I knew that wasn't entirely true, so my embarrassed smile grew wider. Sometimes it feels like we don't understand each other at all, but when it comes to saying things that make your heart flutter, he never misses the timing. "Oh, right, there's something I wanted to ask you. Do you have a moment?" "Of course." I took out the newspaper I read yesterday and handed it to him. "I saw an article about purified water cosmetics and health drinks. Do things like that really sell well in the city?" Mr. Barron nodded. "In the city, purified water is indeed used for various purposes. There's also ongoing research into its benefits." "Then, do you think a product like this would sell too?" The end. Thank you for wandering through today's tale in the novelish universe. If the story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to join our growing realm of dreamers. Until we meet again, keep your heart open and your mind enchanted.